7. And on your instructions, which believe me, they're hard to understand. Sewing instructions are difficult. So that's why it's good that you're doing this here on this video. Okay, so on the flush end of the band, so that means that on one side of this band, it's going to be flush with the opening, and the other side will have the extension. So on the flush side, what you're going to do now is that we fold the band and in the middle. So basically we're folding the right side of the band together, and now we're going to sew the edge of the band. And we're going to start right here at this previous stitching. So we're going to start here and go to the end. So we call a seam, anytime you sew a seam where you stop before the end, is called a terminated seam. So this is a terminated seam. That means we start here and we go this direction, 5/8, and we do not sew into the seam allowance. Okay, and so terminated seams are great, but you do need to be accurate. Okay, and practice your accuracy now, because the more you sew, as you sew more challenging projects, your accuracy becomes even more important. So now I'm going to put my needle here. I'm going to go forward a few stitches. Then I'm going to go back a few stitches. Then I'm going to go forward again and go all the way to the end here. And I'm going to back stitch again at the end. This is okay, here we go. We are now putting our needle down right where the other stitching ends at the 5/8. And we've got it lined up to the 5/8. We go forward a couple stitches. And then I'm going to go back a couple stitches. And then I'm going to go forward again until I get to the end. And when I get to the end, I'm going to go back a few stitches and then forward. And I'm done. Okay, so let's do that. And, okay. Now we're going to do the other side. Okay, so that one was flush with the stitching. The other side has the extension. So I'm going to fold the band right sides together. I'm going to sew from the side where I can see the previous stitching. And I'm going to pin it to make sure it's all lined up and it's folded in half. Okay. All right, and now this one I'm going to start on the folded side, folded edge, right on the edge at 5/8, and I'm going to go inside a little bit, like a 3/16. Put my presser foot down. I'm going to go back a few stitches, and then I'm going to go forward. And when I get to the pin, I'm going to stop and take it out. And I'm going to go down to the 5/8. Now, before I get to the corner, I'm going to switch my stitches to small stitches, all right? So I'm going to go down to like 1. And I'm going to go into the corner. And that will help me to have like a reinforcement stitch. Okay, and then lift up your presser foot, leave your needle down, turn, go about another few stitches. Well, I go about a quarter to 3/8. Then I'm going to go back up to the 2.4 because and now I'm going to just go continue sewing until I get to where that seam started. Okay, and then I'm going to back stitch. Okay, we're good. All right, so now I'm going to trim this and let's go on to the next step. Okay, now we're on to